They came here because they knew and understood that Minnesota was a place where taxpayer money could be taken with little risk and few consequences. To date, we have charged 13 people for their role in the scheme to defraud the Housing Stabilization Services Program, and that investigation remains very much ongoing. I also want to announce some updates in the scheme to defraud the Early Intensive Development and Behavior Intervention for Autism program, another Medicaid program. Based on these fraudulent claims for services that were not provided, and in many cases were not needed, he received more than $6 million in Medicaid funds. The Housing Stabilization Services, which also started in 2021, has a similar pattern of growth. The EIDBI Autism Program has a similar pattern. It's cost the state more than $1 billion since starting in 2018, or it's cost Medicaid more than $1 billion. And of course, the original scheme that started all this was Feeding Our Future and the Federal Child Nutrition Program, and as you can see here, a similar pattern of explosive growth. The state in recent months has flagged 14 Medicaid programs as having significant fraud problems. And those 14 programs in Minnesota have cost $18 billion since 2018, and more than $3.5 billion in 2024 alone. Now, I'm sure everyone is wondering how much of this $18 billion was fraud. It's not the $1 million question, that's the $18 billion question. The answer is far too much, and the task ahead of all of us is not only figuring out how much of that money was fraud, because we know a significant amount was, but figuring out how to put an end to the fraud in our state and get control of it. What we see in Minnesota is not a handful of bad actors committing crimes. It's a staggering industrial scale fraud. But it's not just about the money that's been stolen and wasted. This is a problem that's caused all of us to question what kind of state we live in. It's been allowed to go on far too long, and we need to do whatever we can to stop it in its tracks.